Addiction and ADHD, wired for more. ADHD and addiction, they are cousins in the chaos. When your brain's wired for more ideas, more emotion, more everything. Focus feels like a war zone. 1 minute you're flying, the next you're face first in another false start, another unfinished project, another wrecked plan. And that frustration begins to stack. So we look for relief in a pill, in a drink, in a hit, just to slow the storm down just a little bit. But the storm never stops. It only shifts. And suddenly what felt like control becomes some sort of a cage that we become trapped inside of. But hear this. Just because your start was messy doesn't mean your finish has to be. ADHD isn't a curse. It's a power without training. Focus can be forged. Recovery is real. And even if you've fallen 100 times, you are not finished. Not until you stop getting back up. This episode of The Recovery Couch is brought to you by JB Davis at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. For integrity service and unbeatable deals, ask for JB in Centerville and tell them The Recovery Couch sent you. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to The Recovery Couch. You're listening to Wired for More, a 12-part mini-series exploring the connection between ADHD and addiction. I'm your host, Brandon Couch, and my full story is coming soon in my book, Step 4, A Journey Through Addiction, which you can help publish by heading to Kickstarter.com and searching Help Publish Step 4. If you've ever lived with ADHD, you probably know the pain of 1,000 false starts. The business idea you never followed through on, the job you couldn't stay focused at, the goals you set on Sunday and abandoned by Wednesday. You may remember the moments when people said, "You have so much potential," and deep down you agreed, but you had no idea how to manage it. And that frustration, the frustration of always almost making it, it eats away at our confidence. And for many of us, it leads to burnout, or worse, giving up altogether. When I was younger, I thought that something was wrong with my willpower. But ADHD is not about laziness. It's about dysregulation. And when focus wasn't broken, it was misfiring. Sometimes I could hyper-focus on something for 12 straight hours. And other times I couldn't sit still for 5 damn minutes, even for things that mattered to me. And that inconsistency led me to feel like I was a failure. So I started searching for shortcuts and quick wins for instant relief. And that's where addiction stepped into my life, offering me fast dopamine and false promises. So here's the truth. Our ADHD brains are not lazy, but they are overwhelmed. And when we combine that with the emotional storms that we carry, the frustration, rejection, anxiety, it's no wonder we look for an off switch. In recovery, I've had to rebuild my relationship with focus. I've had to accept that false starts do not make me a failure. They make me a human being, just like every other human being in this world. And instead of chasing perfection, I've started chasing progress, baby steps, small wins, celebrating those, daily rhythms, and giving myself grace over shame. So if you're tired of falling short again and again, trust me when I tell you, you're not alone. You're not broken. You're not lazy. As a matter of fact, you're just like me, and you were wired for more. This episode of The Recovery Couch is brought to you by True Story Media. True Story Media is a company committed to helping you turn your testimony into impact, from podcasting and publishing to media coaching and storytelling. If you've got a message, we'll help you share it. If you're interested, please visit us at www.recoverycouch.com to get started today. Contrary to what many think, people with ADHD do not lack focus. they often focus too much. This is called hyperfocus, an intense concentration on tasks they find stimulating, often to the exclusion of everything else. ADHD brains struggle with regulating attention, not producing it. It's not about being lazy or undisciplined. The challenge for an ADHD brain is in shifting focus at the right times. And ADHD can lead to frustration. Frustration tolerance is often lower in individuals with ADHD. Our brains process emotions more intensely, which can lead to outbursts, shutdowns, or impulsive decisions. And small setbacks can feel huge for an ADHD brain. A missed deadline, a forgotten task could potentially trigger overwhelming guilt or even shame. Not because ADHD brains don't care, but because they care too much. If you like the content you're hearing and want to take the next step, join us at the Recovery Couch Inner Circle on Patreon, where we dive deeper with bonus content, live Q&As, and early access to upcoming episodes. And don't miss what's coming. We've got incredible conversations on the way. We're super excited about our sit down with Michael Thompson, the author of The Heart of a Warrior. He also wrote a new book called King Me. He is a fantastic author and an even better person. If you haven't yet, go and check out our conversation with Ryan Canaday, lead pastor and executive director at Free Recovery Community in Denver, Colorado. He had some unbelievable insight and wisdom, and I think you will love it. And if you want to help bring my story into the world, then go to Kickstarter.com and search Help Publish Step 4. Every pledge helps us get this message into the hands of people who need it. I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the Recovery Couch. Remember that false starts do not define you. You are still here. You are still trying, and that is all that matters. I don't care what anybody's telling you. Get them out of your ear. If you are here and you're putting in effort, I don't care how minimal the results are. Those are wins. You're still here and you're still trying. That is all that matters. You're not stuck. You are in process, and you, my friend, are just like me, and you were wired for more. This episode of the Recovery Couch is brought to you by Greg Swartz at Remax Victory and Affiliates. Whether you're buying or selling your home, Greg brings heart, hustle, and honesty to every deal. Call Greg at 937-477-8975 today. ADHD and addiction, wired for more. In this episode, we pulled back the curtain on what it's really like to live with a brain wired for more. That means more chaos, more craving, more starts without finishes. ADHD isn't just about distraction. It's about the war between potential and frustration. We talked about the false starts that leave scars, the focus that comes in waves, and the addiction that sneaks in when the noise gets too loud. But we also talked about resilience, about the power of learning how to aim the fire instead of letting it burn you down. If you've ever felt like your brain was your biggest enemy, this episode was for you. Share it with a friend. Join the Inner Circle on Patreon. Go and check out the Kickstarter. Search Help Publish Step 4. In the meantime, stay humble, but keep fighting. And remember, you always have a seat right here on the Recovery Couch.